Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down to bite-sized pieces. Today, what a great day it is for the cryptocurrency and digital asset market. So first up, people believe that this is actually the big story. The big story is Coinbase debuting on Wall Street and the IPO or the direct listing. And I really believe that the big story is this, which really got buried, and that is that the Senate confirms Gary Gensler as the SEC chairman and why this is so important to advance our market. So we'll take a look at all those things that are going on. On top of, we did a great in-depth report about the Coinbase IPO over there with Alex Massioli and his show. A couple things I want to point out about what I found was very interesting and how things actually became true as the day progressed. And then we'll finish up with just a little bit of Twitter madness that is going on. So first, let's take a look at what's going on in the market, shall we? So today it is April 14th. It is about 2 p.m. El Paso, Texas time, and things are looking pretty good. Actually, things looked really good when I woke up today, and then Bitcoin dropped a little bit. So we are at a market cap of around 2.2 something trillion dollars, which seems pretty ridiculous if you think about it, but here we are. $2.2 trillion. And just a year ago, we only had 200 billion. Amazing. So we got Bitcoin over the last 24 hours, just about a percentage drop, but we're down to 62.2. Ethereum is doing really good at 23. It's up 3%. And then most of the things have just been just a big wide swath of what has been going up. But there is one big winner today, and it is Dogecoin. Well, actually, we're all winners, really, but Dogecoin really is crushing it. Over the last 7 days, Dogecoin has gone over 108%. This one says 96%, but sure. But yeah, 32% in the last 7 days, and it's actually dropped 8% of the last hour. But still, to go from roughly 6 cents to 12 cents and something, congratulations. I think it was all the way up to 13 cents. So that is amazing for me. But I have a question for everybody. I know a lot of things that are going on, but for Dogecoin, are people working on it? Is there a new partnership? Is there some new big master plan that is going on for Doge? And what it is doing? Has it been adopted by some government or something? But it is amazing to me. It baffles me. I don't hate on it. I'm very happy for it because look, what's good for one is good for all. When the water rushes in, all the ships rise. I'm happy, but it just kind of makes me wonder. I'm like, what really is it about Doge besides just the social media aspect and all those fantastic memes? So that pretty much is going on. There's a lot of big winners below, but let's just take a look at the projected range real quick. This is what we're using, Trade the Chain. It's all sentiment analysis. So if you're a big trader, take a look at Harvest Finance, Bitcoin SV, Nervos, Bitcoin Gold, Aave. Does that say Wacky Coin? Wow, Wacky Chain. All right, and then we're looking at just a little bit of margin. So today's one of those odd days. I wouldn't be trading too much. It was just one of those days. So first of all, we'll get into this story in a little bit. But what I really want to talk to you about is what's going on with Gary Gensler. And this just kind of passed over everybody because right now, there was a long time coming with the Coinbase IPO, a direct listing, and it went off. We'll take a look at the prices, but it doesn't matter some stock price of one individual company. What really determines what happens in this space is, of course, what you and I do, how we invest, how we hold or not hold, how we take profits, and how we do certain things. And another thing is, whether you want to believe it or not, it is how these different people are appointed to these different offices and their philosophies. Look, the last SEC chairman knew very little about crypto and digital assets, and you saw what happened. He went after Ripple Labs, and that was a big, black spot or dark mark on our industry. I think Ripple looks like they're going to pull out of it, which is amazing, but it really shouldn't. I don't know if it really should have happened. It's not for me to say. I'm not a lawyer, so that's all I'll say about that. But when you get somebody like this, like a Gary Gensler, this guy knows cryptocurrency. Here he is, right here, and you can just Google this, YouTube, Gary Gensler, cryptocurrency, MIT. He's teaching cryptocurrency and digital assets to the students at MIT. This guy just gets it. So what is going on here? Well, this happened today, maybe late last night, I'm not for sure, but he was confirmed. Gensler, and just so you know, this guy isn't some Johnny-come-lately who just kind of stepped into it and it's like, well, I guess I'll do it. Gensler began his career as a banker at Goldman Sachs. Wait, before you jump up in arms, here's what else. He was also the chairman of the CFTC. He helped craft the Dodd-Frank reform legislation and aggressively implemented new rules regulating the derivatives market. So yes, he did all these things, and that's awful, or that could be good, depending on how you look at it. Whatever. But to me personally, I just want somebody in there who just really understands it and is an actual proponent of cryptocurrency. On top of, he's already been in the traditional market space, so he knows exactly what those bankers are doing. Look, I want somebody in there who knows all the tricks of the trade and all the different underhanded, backhanded deals that are being done, because I want somebody who has experience. And he knows those guys if he went to Goldman Sachs. Let's be honest, they're not the cleanest of everybody. Bankers are bankers, whatever. You get what you give them. And then, of course, the rest of this whole report is just about politics, which I'm not even going to go over because I almost fell asleep. So with this one, again, with Gensler in here and really just taking crypto into a new space, when we start talking about ETFs, which Coinbase just went public, went off pretty well. Actually, there was no insider trading or some craziness. It was just like one of those days where it went up, went down. That's what we want. Boring. I like boring. So now we have that on top of these ETFs that we're talking about actually getting funded. Well, Gensler could say, well, look, if you think that crypto digital assets are really being used for nefarious purposes and the cartels and terrorism, that's not true. And here's a study that backs it up. And here's why this is on a public ledger. Here's how difficult it actually is. Because guess what? I know all these things because I used to teach it at MIT. So again, this is a good thing, and I think this is a big story because this guy will shape where our industry goes. Let me know what you think in the comments section. That's what we got. So on top of that, just so you know, there was a little IPO today. And I was actually on Alex Mascioli's show as this thing was kind of coming about, and we all just talked about our different opinions of where this would go. And I was going to go over all this, but I'm just going to give you the highlights real quick. So when it first came out, it was expected to be around 20, 30 billion. Then there was a valuation of 50 billion. Then it was 50 to 100 billion. And then when it opened up, this is what it looked like. Let me just refresh this. This is the Robinhood website, whatever. And when it opened up, it was supposed to open up 250. And then they reevaluated, it was 340. Then it opened up at 380, somewhere around there. And it went like this, big, huge, massive bump. And at 424, I was like, this thing might hit 500 or 600, who knows? And then, of course, just like the Coinbase effect, it went up. And what happened? Welcome to the regular traditional market. And down it goes. I think we're hovering around 330, so not too bad. So a high of 424. Hope you didn't buy up there. And then just a big dip and whatnot, and that's what it is. So when we were over here on Alex's show, and we were talking about all these things, what was interesting to me is that there was no pre-sale, there was no, because it was a direct listing, you couldn't have a bunch of super accredited investors really get their hands on it and then just dump on everything. Only the Coinbase employees could have up to like 1% or something like that of the stock. So there was nothing really dirty that could be done. And I think this one had to be squeaky clean because the SEC is like, look, we don't even like, beforehand, we don't even like crypto digital assets. And this went off pretty well. So we were thinking that, this could, and actually played out just like Alex and Danish and CJ and Nick said. They said, you know what, it'll probably just do this. It'll be flat, go up, and then we'll just tumble right back down, and then we'll equalize. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And of course, that's exactly how it was. And they gave different reasonings behind that, especially like a Facebook IPO and what would happen. But who knows? Another big thing we talked about was how this could lead to different traditional players to get exposure into cryptocurrency and digital assets without actually owning crypto and digital assets, just by investing into Coinbase. But what's very interesting was at the same time as this was about to happen, you saw a big drop in Bitcoin. You saw a big drop in the entire market. You saw a big drop in Voyager, the publicly traded fund, the actual stock. You saw a big drop in a lot of different assets that you would think, why is all this dropping right now? What what is happening? Like Mara and Riot, those stocks actually dropped, and yeah. So what was going on? Well, I was like, why is this happening? And Dennis was like, well, listen, genius, it's because everybody's trying to, cash out and get a little bit of money so they can dump it into this Coinbase and just make a quick buck. And I was like, huh, that makes a lot of sense. And then here we are. So even Michael Saylor's company actually went down at the same time. So yeah, it was a good try. But I mean, again, if you were going to do that and make a bunch of money, I don't think you made a ton going from 380 to 420. I mean, not bad for a day, but then you just did this and everybody's dumped and blah, 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 blah. Off you go. So yeah, we'll see how this all works out. And as time goes on, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but I could be wrong. So let me know in the comment section. But lastly, I will just say this. This is a pretty great year. I mean, look at all the institutions that are here. Look at all the different track that has been laid. Look at all the different projects that actually have a working product and actually does something. Coinbase gets listed. That is the second publicly traded company as far as an exchange, right behind Voyager, even though Voyager is a brokerage. So that is pretty interesting. And hopefully 2021 is going to be a monstrous year. Let me just think in the comment section. Let's move on to our last piece. And just little notes here about Twitter. So I just did a little poll and I said, hey, I thought it'd be funny if, Coinbase, which has their outages, if during their listing that they actually went down during the whole time, but apparently didn't happen. They actually were able to stay up. So congratulations, Coinbase, for one time you didn't crash. And no, I'm just kidding. I mean, congratulations to Coinbase. They did a lot of tough work to get here. They've been around here since the very beginning. And I will say this. I talk bad about Coinbase because I'm kind of ticked off about their fees. But look, if you're new and you don't know what's going on, Coinbase is a great place to start. And they can onboard you and they can get everything done and you don't have to do anything really. It's super simple. So for them, the ticket is worth the cost of the admission. And that's fine with me now. I mean, if that's what it's going to take, it's what it's going to take. So good. And then talked about Doge in the top 10. And then I just talked about, because Bitcoin today hit its all-time high and then dropped a little bit. But I said, who's feeling like a genius is Diddy from the Bitcoin family. That guy in 2017, he sold all his vehicles, he sold his business and his house and put it all on Bitcoin at the very beginning of 2017 when it was like a grand or something like that. So that's a pretty good day for Diddy. And then there was two more things I want to talk about. And that was this. This was from Charlie Biello. And that is, Charlie here is the founder and CEO of Compound Capital Advisors, and he always has great information to put out. And this one's no different. He talks about he just does a lot of analysis, and he says, "Look, here's the returns over last year." I thought it was interesting that Cardano was #1 over last year, 3,290%. Cardano, pretty good, huh? And then we had Binance Coin, which has been a great for this year. Polkadot, Ethereum at 1100, Uniswap 953. So when you take a look at, you just take a look at these projects. First, of course, take a look at what they've done, but take a look at or what they're doing and take a look at how much they've actually grown over the last year. And then he kind of even breaks it down where he talks about year to date, different projects that are crushing it. Because we all talk about, how great Ethereum is doing and how Bitcoin, but we kind of get sidetracked with the horse blinders on. And we don't really take a look and take a step back. It's like, what about in percentage-wise, what's been doing the best? And he lays it out. He goes, BitTorrent. 2,000, almost 2,700%. So my friend George is super happy about that. And then Terra, 2,100%. Solana, 1,700. Binance Coin, which we've all been talking about, like it's so great. But, Doge, FTX, Cardano, Filecoin, VeChain, IOTA, those are the big type of gainers. So I know we talk about how great certain projects are doing, but really, if you're just here for the almighty cash, it's the percentages and just somebody to follow, Charlie Biello. And then lastly, I just want to say that shout out to Mike the Investor, because he was talking about BitTorrent all the time and for a long time ago. And I just, he's one of the guys that I recommend and missed the ball on that one. So I just want to point out one real thing, that in the description of every one of my videos, if you just scroll down, I'll show you. Besides all the tons of links that I have, I am the king of the shill, let's be honest. There's some people that I watch almost every day, and these are the ones that I recommend just because either they're kind of like me or they kind of have the same message and they're not crazy, wacky people. So first one, Alex Mascioli, because that guy, I mean, he was the on the institutional side, head of Quant Services, deals with a lot of those billion-dollar hedge fund guys. So he's kind of like the inside guy. Alex Becker, if you don't know him, that guy he's pretty funny, and he's been around the space for a little bit of time, but he keeps things entertaining, and he is also about percentage gains. Coin Bureau guy, I mean, that guy is fantastic. If you want to know some great information and really have it broken down into small segments, guy's your guy. Hashoshi, that's my guy over there. Forrest, he's a developer, so you get the developer side of it, not just like my fundamental side, but actually the nuts and bolts. Mike, the investor, low cap gem guy. Dave, Digital Dave, or Crazy for Cryptos. He's the one that turned me on to Theta, Bitcoin Cash, and T-Fuel. So definitely check him out. Nobes is Downtown Abbey, British kind of guy, and he's just a little bit more like reserved even than me. And lastly is Diddy from Bitcoin Family. So again, check out those guys in the description. I watch them, like I said, almost every day, and they always put out great stuff. So first of all, if you stay with me at the end, I want to say thanks. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a like. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things are time sensitive, really helps out. And that's it for today. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the